Hello everyone. We are group number 4, made up of Natalie Cedillos and myself, Carolina Delgado. Our topic is Modifiers and Qualifiers diagram. In this presentation, we will explain the parts of the diagram, how to identify the modifiers and qualifiers in the sentence, and how to place them correctly in the sentence diagram. We will also share several examples step by step to make it easy to understand.
Let's start by talking about modifier. In English, a modifier is a word, phrase, or clause that give more information about another part of the sentence. The most common modifier are adjective and adverbs. As you can see, we have, for example, in a sentence diagram, the modifier is placed on a diagonal line below the word it is modifying. Today, we're going to analyze a sentence using a simple diagram. The sentence is the red car is fast. Let's look at its structure. The main horizontal line word show car is fast. Car is the subject. It is the linking verb fast in the predicate adjective that describe the subject. Then we draw two diagonal lines under car. On them we place the and red, which are modifier of the noun car. The is an article, red is an adjective. This way we can clearly see how modifiers are directly connected to the word they describe. Sentence diagram help us better under the rule of each word. Now let's look at qualifier. A qualifier is a word that modify a modifier. In other words, it adjusts the meaning of an adjective or an adverb. Explanation: qualifier help us express the degree or intensity of something. Some common qualifiers are very, quiet, to, almost, rather, very, etc. Let's take a look at the sentence diagram. She is quiet, tired. On the horizontal line, we place the main part of the sentence. She is the subject, is the linking verb, tired is the subject complement, specifically an adjective describe she. Then we have the modifier, the word tired is an adjective, so it's placed on the horizontal line right after the word is. Now we have the qualifier. Quiet is a qualifier because it modifies the adjective tired. To show this in the diagram, we draw a diagonal line under the word tired and quiet on it. This shows that quiet is not modify the subject or the verb. This is not bad. Specifically, the adjective type. It tells use the what extent she is tired.
Well, explaining the diagram, lines with a step-by-step example. In this section, I will take care of explaining how the different lines and sentence diagrams works. These diagrams are a super useful visual tool to understand the structure of a sentence. First, the main lines are horizontal main line. This is where we place the essential word of the sentences, like the subject, verb, and complement. It's like the backbone of the sentences. Vertical lines. These lines separate the subject from the predicate. It helps you clearly identify who is doing the action and what the action is. Diagonal lines. These lines are used to show modifiers or details that describe or qualifies the main words. For example, adjectives that describe noun or adverbs that modify verbs. Example, the sentences are placed on a main horizontal line. The subject goes to the left and the vertical line that separates from the predicate. Modified adjectives and adverbs are placed on diagonal lines below the word modify, and qualifier going a diagonal line attached to the modifier. Number 1. Tag dog barks extremely loudly. Horizontal line is dog barks loudly. Diagonal line under dog. That modified on the noun. Diagonal line under loudly. Extremely. Qualifier that intensifies the adverbs. Her, extremely, they'll use the dog doesn't. Whose bark loudly, it bark extremely loudly. And number 2, the teacher speaks very clearly. Horizontal line, teacher speak clearly. Diagonal line under teacher, the modified on the noun. Diagonal line under clearly, very. Qualifier modify the adverbs. Explanation, very. Intensifies how clearly the teacher speak. Well, example more complex. And number 1, the talent you musician quickly and skillfully play the difficult piano piece during the concert. And horizontal line, main lines, musician play piece. Subject, verb, and direct object. Vertical line, separate the subject, musician, from the predicate, play the difficult piano piece during the concert. Diagonal lines, under musician, the talent, John, noun modifiers. Under playing, quickly, skillfully, verbs modifiers, adverb. Under piece, the difficult, piano. Noun modifiers. Under the verb and the complement. During the concert, prepositional phrase modify the interaction. Well, why understanding this matter? Can knowing how to use and read these diagrams help you clearly understand how each part of a sentence works, the role each word plays, and how modifiers and qualifiers and extra meaning. This is why we can analyze more complex sentences without getting lost.
Why is it important to understand modifier and qualifier? Because they help us express ideas clearly and precisely. They allow us to better describe people, object, action, or situation. They make our language richer, more varied, and easier to understand. They are key to communicating effectively at school, work, and in every life. When we use modifier and qualifier correctly, we say exactly what we mean.
In conclusion, guys, sentence diagrams help you clearly understand how each part of a sentence works, especially modifiers and qualifiers. I hope the example and explanation were helpful and made the topic easier to understand. If you have an question or need clarification, feel free to leave them in the forum, please. Thank you.